Hello everyone. Sorry. Hello everyone. My name is Stitcher Proxy, and if you guys could tell, I'm going to be doing a creepypasta video. And sorry about everything taking a while, and you guys also have noticed I have not posted anything on the sister location, maybe my second part of this. The reason why is I'm still in high school and everything, and I'm literally, tomorrow is my SATs. And I still have got a lot of testing for my 9 weeks, and yeah. After that and everything, I still got work and all that. Whenever I get a day off or a weekend off or a day when I don't have homework, I will play the game and record it and post it. But I still have time today to do a creepypasta video. And how I do these videos is I will listen to the video, and then I'll make a comment out of the end of it, because some of these videos you have to think about what you see the picture of and what you hear. This one is called Charlie Was an Immigrant. I can't say that word. But let me explain. This video is from Mr. Creep. No, wait, no. Sorry. I always had him in my mind. Sorry, this video is from the first guy I've ever subscribed for Creepypasta. Mr. Creepypasta was second. That's also someone I'll be doing a video for. This one is from Creepypasta Jr. And I respect this guy. He's awesome. I'll leave a link down in the description where you guys can watch his video as well. But I'm about to enjoy this Creepypasta.
My house is, for lack of a better word, plain. I'd gotten a reasonable deal for it a few years back after the nuclear fallout that was my marriage. Throughout the carnage and turmoil that I had to go through, it ended up being worth it. Once the dust had settled, I had been granted full custody of my son. Soon after, I found a new job out of state with better pay and major benefits. My son and I had packed up everything and moved to our new house, our new life. It wasn't until his 10th birthday that strange things began to happen. Ever since his birthday, my son always told me about his friend named Charlie. Charlie is imaginary. But I always played along with my son. Some adults like to bash reality into children. I decided to let him figure things out on his own. Now, Charlie was my son's scapegoat for almost everything. Colored on the walls with crayons, Charlie. Broke a glass cup, Charlie. Dropped the milk everywhere, Charlie. All of these things were harmless for the most part, and while I did get annoyed some of the time, I would always let my son and Charlie know that they needed to be more careful when they were playing. It wasn't until the noises began that I started to grow concerned. It started off as little, almost unnoticeable sounds, like soft taps on the walls, hushed giggles in the dark hallway, even the crash of something falling over, but those happened very rarely. The sounds that really bothered me were the sounds of footsteps running down the hallway and the slamming of my son's bedroom door. I tried to shrug off the noises and let my son tire himself out, until one night I had to be up early for work. And then that sound resonated. With the slamming of his door, I shot up out of bed and stormed angrily down the hall, tearing open his bedroom door. But what I found gave me pause. My son was sleeping. Not pretending either. Full-blown drooling snores. My hand began to shake lightly as it gripped the doorknob. Everyone has seen those horror movies where the kid's imaginary friend turns out to be something otherworldly or dangerous. So I carefully made my way to my son, picked him up, and carried him to my room so I could watch over him as we slept. The next morning before I left for work, I asked my son what kind of boy Charlie was. He told me that he was super nice, but wore some pretty weird clothes. I don't know why I brought up this question, but I asked him what Charlie thought of me. My son stared off down the hallway for a bit before answering me. He said Charlie really likes me. He said Charlie wishes he could have had a dad like me. It was at that very moment that I realized Charlie was in fact real. Sweat began to form on my brow, and I nervously smiled to my son and told him to get on the bus for school. The entire day at work, I thought about what I should do. Should I contact a priest or maybe a psychic? Would I need holy water? Are these really questions that I have to find the answers to? After having a bunch of weird conversations about the supernatural with my coworkers, it was time for me to head home. When I got home from work, I found my son sitting in the living room watching TV. I was unsure whether or not I should bring up Charlie or just let things be and try to find a new house on the market tomorrow. That night, I found my answer. After dinner and heading to bed, a new sound arose. This time it was knocking. The knocking was coming from my closet. I laid awake for a couple hours listening to the knocking, too scared to move. I'm not sure if it was just primal rage or fatigue-drenched annoyance that drove me up from my bed. But I decided to go get my son so he could tell Charlie to knock it off. But as soon as I opened my door, I stopped. My son was standing in the middle of the hallway with a look of absolute dread on his face. I asked him what was wrong, and I apologized to him if I had scared him. He said Charlie had woken him up, to which I replied with a "me too." I then asked him if he could tell Charlie to please stop making all that racket so he could just get some sleep. What he said next turned my blood into ice. He said Charlie was standing right next to us. Just then, I heard the sound of my closet door creak open. At that very moment, my son looked at me with a fear in his eyes that I had never seen before, and said, "Charlie says run." I snapped like an Olympic sprinter, grabbed my son, and ran outside to the neighbor's house so I could call my sister to come pick us up. I don't know why Charlie was hanging around my house, or why he showed up after my son's birthday. Maybe he was waiting for someone his age to play with. And I have no idea what was inside of my closet. But I am absolutely convinced that ghosts are real now. After all, my son and I owe our very lives to one.
Okay, guys. Whoa, that actually was pretty good. And I feel the same way for the kid. Because when I was around the time of 10 years old and everyone else used to know about this when I was little, I always had imaginary friends. I would always blame on them for stuff. But I always felt like they were always my protector. One example was Roy, one of my imaginary friends when I was about 9. He was one of the guys I imagined to basically be, whenever my big brother Philip was not around, Roy would be there to kind of help me and kind of make me feel happy. And yeah, they always did. When you have imaginary friends, your mind does go crazy to the point where you actually believe they're real. But sometimes your parents won't believe it. But this story actually was kind of creepy because I guarantee, yeah, Charlie saved their asses because I guarantee Charlie knew something was in his closet. And I guarantee it wasn't Charlie. Want to know what I think? I think maybe there was actually someone else in this house. Another dark presence, like a monster or a demon. Charlie picked up on it and wanted to protect his friends and his new family. Basically, Charlie's like Casper, but a lot cooler. Alright, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to not end the video here. I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to go to the next Creepypasta video I'll be doing is from Mr. Creepypasta, and I'll be posting this one very soon. But man, you guys, if you guys are a fan of the Creepypasta genre, and there's a lot of people that are, please, if you guys are not already subscribed to Creepypasta Jr., please subscribe. I'll leave a link down in the description. I also have a Twitter if you guys want to send me creepypastas for me to react to. Because I don't care how scary they are. I will do them for you. And I always check. I always check my Twitter about every 2 days. And if you guys left me something, I'll check it and I will put it right. I'll write it down and see what you guys did. Also, leave a comment. If I don't check my Twitter sometimes, please on the videos leave a comment, because sometimes I'm literally busy with homework or work in general. Yeah. Please leave a comment for maybe a next video, the name of a video, because I don't care if it's like, I would say something, if it's trying to laugh, it has to, I don't mind it, but I don't mind because I'm also a brony. If you guys want me to do any My Little Pony stuff, I don't care. But please, down below in the description, like and subscribe, and please leave a comment, because I love you guys. To all my creepy creatures out there in the night, this is Stitch Proxy heading out.